and then you can see me as well. Okay, my PowerPoint is set up and I'm here. So let's just see if anybody's going to join me online. And if anybody does, please just say hi. Let's see if we're set up properly. Yeah, I think we are set up properly. Let me see if my assistant is online. Jay, are you online? Can you, if you're online, can you let me know whether you can hear me or not? Okay, and then I shall start. So today I wanted to a quick deep dive, because one of the questions I am getting from people is around, people were saying that, how do I start my business? How do I turn my idea into a business, especially as I'm still as I'm still in employment, as I'm still working, doing other stuff. Some people ask me, how do I quickly get more clients? So today I thought, you know what, I'm going to be doing these deep dives, occasionally do a deep dive, which is all about actually going behind the scenes of how I do stuff and how some of my clients do stuff. So this is the idea behind this deep dive that I am doing today. So today's deep dive is about how you start your business idea, especially if you don't have capital, especially if you don't have you don't have business capital, to put into doing a huge marketing marketing budget, or say, for example, you're still living in employment and you've got to be doing other stuff. So you need to be able to set up this business in a way that you can do other stuff while still testing your business idea, or that you can actually, go out there and get clients without putting a lot of money into getting those clients. So this is the idea behind it, and this is in response to the questions that I am getting from some people in my community. How do I start my business? So yeah, let's get into the deep dive. Today I'm actually using a PowerPoint presentation because I find that my background is tech. So, coming from tech, we do a lot of PowerPoint presentations, and I love doing them. I love doing PowerPoint presentations, but I also find that it helps me almost focus my thoughts and helps me deliver a good content to you guys. So yes, I'm using the PowerPoint presentation today, and hopefully technology works. And this works okay. So let me go to my presentation and then we will start. Let's see if that works. Okay, so today's deep dive, like I've explained, deep dive is about going behind the scenes. I want this to be when you watch it, I want this to be very useful. I want you to take loads, from this deep dive today, and be able to at least run with something, for you to be able to from just today be able to take at least one or two actions. And I'm going to try and keep it very compact, because I've got to go to a meeting as well. I'm going to try and keep it very very compact, very very slim. But if you have more questions at the end, then obviously definitely contact me and ask questions. So today's deep dive is about how you test your business idea and start getting clients, even if you have no business capital or you're still in employment. And they're really quick, simple steps that I've put here. This is almost like it's a beginner's session, and further down the line we will get more in depth. So this is like a beginner section. This is for people who are still looking at starting a business, people who have an idea but they don't know how to make money from that business idea, or people who are actually in employment and looking to start their business idea but don't have the time to do that. So let's get into it. I know for sure one of the things that stop people from starting their business is this idea of like money, it's almost like a catch-22 thing. It's like it's almost like, so you want to make money because obviously you need money, or you have this passion and you want to be able to be doing your passion while you're making money from it. But in order to, start this business, in order to turn this business into a money maker, you also need money. You feel that you need money to make that idea come to life, to bring that business idea to life. So it's like a catch-22 thing. It's like, well, okay, I want to make money because I don't have money, but I need money to make money. So that mindset stops a lot of people from starting their business. They feel that, they need money to be able to start their own business. And from my experience, I do not think this is true. And then there are other stuff as well, like, people get stressed. People get stressed with just, so when you've got into a situation where you've like literally you're at the wall, and it's like, this is the time, you've got to do it, you've got to like create this business, or you've got to start bringing money in, or you've got to get that job, or whatever it is. Yeah, you get into this stressful states, which I call like, it's almost like the stuck state. This is where we get stuck. We get stuck because we've gone to that vibration where, we're almost like desperate to make things happen. And when you've got into when you're in that state, it can be very hard to keep the momentum going, because usually most times what happens is that you get stuck and you cannot move. The creativity is not flowing, and the way you communicate is not flowing. It's like your energy is stuck, and that's one of the things that stops people from getting their ideas going, or getting more clients, or building their business. And then the other thing as well is that thing of like responsibility. We all have, most of us have responsibilities. I have like a he's now 7 a 7-year-old son, and it is my responsibility as his mom to provide shelter over his head, to make sure that he goes to a good school, and the other responsibilities that we have apart from having children. You probably have a partner, so you feel that you have to provide for them. We have families, we have commitments that we have to make to those to our family and stuff like that. So when we have all those responsibilities, I think most times what happens is that we feel that we have to go through the safe route. So most of us would not start that business, even though we want to start it. Most of us will stay in that job that we've been in for the last how many years, and we're not happy in it. Because we feel we've got those responsibilities, and we've got to keep it safe. We've got to be in the safe zone, and we got to stay there. Otherwise, we risk losing it all, and we risk not providing for our family and not doing what we're supposed to do. So these are the things I feel that, when I talk to people that are keeping people stuck from like going after their dreams, starting that business, testing that business idea, because we have all the stuff in our head. So before I even go into this deep dive, before I even like start, I want to share with you something. Okay, so I mean, obviously, what I'm going to be talking about today is how to test your business idea and start getting clients, even if you have no business capital or even if you're still in employment. Okay, so let me just tell you. So before I go into all that stuff, I'm going to tell you the objective of this dive, like what you're going to get from it, and then like how you're going to how you should be setting up your business, okay, your marketing, how you should be doing your marketing at this stage of business, and how you should be getting sales at this stage. If this is like, it's still a business, it's still an idea, you're still trying to get your first few clients, but you don't have money, to do it like how the big businesses would do it, or how the big gurus would do it, or if you're still in, still in employment, this is how you should be doing your marketing, and this is how you should be doing your sales, so that you can quickly get clients coming in. Because for me, I always feel that people should test the idea first. Like, there's no point. I mean, you can do it either way, but my tried and tested way is that when I have a business idea to go into, I test it, before I start putting loads of capital, and before I start putting loads of money in it, and then you find out that actually the idea never was going to work, or you find out that actually you're not really passionate about that area of business. So you should always test things first. And this is what we're trying to do here, to set things up in a way that you test your business idea and you see how that works. And then after that, after you test it and you've got your first few clients, then we talk about scaling up. So you make it bigger, and you think about having more clients and bringing more revenue in. So if you can actually get this slide here, if you can get your mind around this, I don't even have to say anything anymore. Okay, this is all about our reality. Okay, and our thoughts create our reality. If you can get your head around this bit, I don't even have to teach you anything, because this is all what it comes down to. Your thoughts create your reality. So I could go through this deep dive, and I could share with you all the strategies I've used and all the strategies that my clients are using that's working. I could give you a step-by-step plan. I could give you the answers to everything. But if you don't have the mindset that you can do this, it's not going to happen. So the first thing comes from the mindset that actually, I can do this and I can make this happen, and this is going to happen. So this is where you need to start first. This is the key. This is really the key. And I know that sometimes it can be very difficult to change our mindset, especially, if we've been like in difficult situations in the past, or even if we are in a difficult situation where, maybe we don't quite have clarity, we don't quite believe in ourselves. It can be very, very hard to get to shift your mindset, and think, well, I can do this. But I'm going to tell you how you can shift your mindset, okay? So I'm just going to put my earphones on just to make this clearer. So I'm just putting my earphones on in case this is not that clear. So in order to shift mindset, I always tell my clients, look at what your purpose is, like, why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Why? What is your why? What is driving you? Okay. When you start to look at the things that's driving you to create this business, this is what's going to help you shift that mindset, you know. So when I speak to people, people say, and actually this applies to me as well. Like one of my why would be things like obviously providing financial security, you know, for my child and being able to help my family. But also along those lines, it's like, you know, I actually do want the freedom to be able to do whatever it is I want, you know. I want the freedom to be able to like to travel, to be able to actually work from anywhere, so that's, you know, while I'm traveling I'm still helping my clients, you know. And I want to feel that freedom of like, actually, you know what, I am actually using my skills, I am using something that I am so good at in helping other people. Like if I'm not helping other people and if I'm not using my creativity, that itself makes me feel stuck, you know. So for me to be able to be in a position where I am doing things like this and I'm helping more people and I'm connecting with more people, just using my skills and my, you know, natural abilities, that it's my why, you know. It really just, it makes me come alive, you know. And if I'm not doing that, you know, I feel stuck. So those are the stuff that you should start thinking about as to like, what is your why, you know? You want to create financial security. What do you want to create? How do you want to create it? You know, and then you take a little bit further, actually. And this is what I'll ask you to do from this session. After this session, that you visualize your why and then turn it. So you think about your whys, like why do you want to start this business? Why do you want, actually, what, guys, bear with me. I'm just going to share this. I don't think my streams are shared to the other pages. So I'm just going to share. So I'm just going to pause it and share for a second. So just bear with me, please. I'm just going to share to my page right now. Post. Okay. And I'm just going to share to my Facebook page right now. Okay. Okay. So after this session, what I would like you to do is to, before you even do anything that I talk about on this presentation, what I want you to do is to think about your why. Why is it that you want to start this business idea? Why is it that, you know, you want to like, I don't know, you want to make whatever amount you want to make every month? Why is it that you want to do that? And then I want you to like, you know, I'm sure you've heard about visualization, you know, where people talk about, you know, they visualize like how they want to live and, you know, how they're going to be feeling and all that stuff. And that it came to be passed. And I can tell you for sure that that works. It definitely works, because like I said, our thoughts create our reality. So before you even do anything that, you know, I go through in this deep dive, take some time out and just dream, you know, dream it. Like, what are you doing? What is your business about? How are you working with people? How much money are you making? When you get up in the morning, what are you doing? You know, how are you work? You know, like, you know, do you work? Do you like go to the workplace? Do you go to the office? Or are you working from home? Just visualize everything and just dream it. Okay, and I believe that that is what is going to create the energy behind every action that you take, and it's going to make it come to life. So now that we've talked about the mindset stuff, let's talk about what the objective of this deep dive is going to be about. So by the end of this deep dive, you know, I want to show you how you can test your business idea with an MVP, which is like a minimum viable product. So it's like, you know, taking a small part of your idea and testing it that you can generate money from it. So you want to test with a minimal viable product with, you know, something really small. by the end of this deep dive, I want to show you how you should be selling out of a crowded market. Because one of the things I see, especially with the internet, is that a lot of so like with social media, for example, a lot of us are selling in the same space, you know. So there's a lot of noise, and everybody's trying to sell either something that looks similar, something that looks similar in a crowded market. So it's like a lot of noise, and it's very hard to stand out. But if you are someone who's been doing it for a long time and who has the budget to like put into marketing, like doing loads of Facebook ads, you have time to be doing like loads of Facebook lives, like what I'm doing now. So you have the time and the resources, then fair enough. Yes, you can stand out. But when you're just starting out and you're looking to test a business idea and you're looking to like get your first few clients going, it can be very hard to stand out in a crowded market. So I want to show you how, you know, you should be selling out of a crowded market. And then by the end of this deep dive again, I want you to have a plan, you know, to make your next sale. Because if you're telling me that you want to start a business, you know, the aim is that you're making money and you're actually offering something in return for money. Unless if it's a passion or it's, you know, or it's a charity. Even if it's a charity, you still have to make money. So that's the objective of today's deep dive. So let's talk about your setup. Okay. Now you need a pen and a paper, because from now onwards, this is your almost like your action. This is like your action point. This is like your checklist. Okay. These are the things that you need to do to get this business idea going. These are the things that you need to do to get your first few clients going. So your setup. Let's do a checklist. I speak to a lot of people who are actually not just looking to start a business, but who feel they're already in business, but they are not a business. So if I ask and I go, oh, what type of business? How are you set up legally? You know, are you a partnership? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you a limited company? They're not even sure, you know. They've literally just like, yeah, I'm starting a business and I am providing, you know, I don't know, I'm providing this service to people, or I'm looking to provide this service to people. And that's fair enough. Yes, you can run with stuff, but I feel that you should start with knowing what type of business you are, because at the end of the day, you want to be legal. So whilst there are so many ways that you can set up your business, so you can be, like I say, partnership, limited company, sole proprietor, whatever it is, I feel at this stage, maybe just go with being a sole proprietor, okay? So it doesn't, I mean, it saves you from like having to do all those legal paperwork that you would have to do for things like, you know, a limited company or a partnership company. However, because you're a sole proprietor, you are still a freelance, or you're still like a self-employed person, and you still have to like, you know, you still have to like submit your account, etc., to HMRC if you're based in the UK. But what this does is that it puts you in that mindset that you have a business and you've got to treat your passion or your idea as a business. You know, it starts to put you in that mindset that actually you've got to grow the business from this stage to that stage. You start to have goals for it, and you start to treat it as its own entity. And then also you start to think about the future. So like, actually, what's this business going to bring me? You know, would I be able to buy the house I want to buy with this business? Would I be able to retire with this business, etc., etc.? So when you set yourself up as a business, and you start to have that mindset that this is a business entity, you start to think big. Okay, so first thing is be a business. Choose what type of setup you are. If you don't want to go as a limited company, I would say at this stage, just be a sole proprietor. So you're self-employed, and then it takes me to like be ready to receive money. I am so surprised at the amount of people who are either trading or even maybe just looking to start making money from an idea that they have. But if I was to say to them now and go, oh, I like that idea, like I'll take one of those, or yeah, provide that to me, they would not be able to tell me at that point how I should pay them. Like at that point, they don't have, a way for me to pay them. So it's like, it defeats the purpose. It's like, well, you want to create this business, you want to make all this money, but actually the gateway to money coming in is not open. So you need to start thinking about, how do I start collecting money from people when they say yes to me? And this is really, really important. This is like one of the first things that you should start thinking about. It's like, how do I receive money? And then again, because we're trying to test a business idea here, and we're trying to run with the minimum viable products that we have, we don't want to make things complicated. So when I speak to my clients, I say easy things like even just setting up a PayPal account. Yeah, a PayPal account, you can easily receive money from people, and you can also invoice people for money. And you can use your PayPal to actually embed that into your website, so that when someone buys something from you, they automatically pay. So, and you don't actually have to pay PayPal to set those things up. Yes, they will charge you when you start receiving money, but that's okay. So things like using PayPal, it's very easy to set up. At least, if someone says, hey, I'll take that idea or whatever it is, you can literally go, oh, great. You can pay me via, and you give them the link. If you want to set up a business site, if you want to set up a business account, a business bank account, then I would suggest things like Stripe, and I don't know how many countries Stripe works in, but I know they work in the UK. So with Stripe, it's one of those fintech banks where it's so easy for you to set up a bank account. In fact, it takes you a few minutes to set up a UK bank account. Literally a few minutes. And within those few minutes, you would get a bank account number, you would get your sort code, and also you would get a bank card. And you can start invoicing people it's like using an app. It's just an app, and it's just on your phone. And you can invoice people. So when someone speaks to you about an idea, or you pitch to somebody, you can go, oh, okay, I'll just send you an invoice, and you just go to your phone and you send an invoice to that person. So all this, these two options, you can do them within a few minutes, and you can start receiving money. Okay? So be a business, get your money gateway open so you can start receiving money. And then the other thing I was going to say is about having a shop front. A shop front is about you having that presence online. So if it's either like a website, but even when I talk about a website, I think, like a few pages that just gives people the confidence that you can do what you say you want to do. So it could be a website with just a few pages of your homepage, which is very straight to the point, a little bit about yourself, maybe a blog, but you don't even need that. Maybe a contact page. If it's not a website, set up a Facebook page, a business Facebook page where you're starting to interact with people and where people actually, know what it is that you're about. If it's not like a Facebook page, do a landing page. A landing page is just one page, with your main offerings, or like, this is who I am, this is my experience, this is my story, and this is how I can help you. A one page, like straight to the point. So let's just go through that again. Be a business, be ready to receive money, and have a shop front. That's basically your setup. And then getting out and doing your marketing. Don't forget, this approach, today I'm talking to people who are trying to take an idea, trying to take a passion that they have, trying to take an idea that they have, and trying to turn that into a business so that they can start making money from it. Or I'm talking to people who are already in an employment, they're doing something else, but they want to start business on the side, okay? And in most cases, you don't have the big capital to put into things like huge Facebook ads, to do huge marketing. So we want to be a little bit creative with how we do our marketing, okay? So this is the logic behind the steps I'm giving you here. So you have this business idea, you have, you're ready, you want to turn it into money-making scheme. I would say start with outbound marketing. And basically, you are going out and you're marketing your idea to people, okay? And hopefully, eventually, you will start getting people coming back to you and feeding back to you and contacting you out of the blue. But to start with, you're going to start with outbound marketing, where actually you are putting your services out there. And there's so many ways you can do this. You can do it like, so let's start with email marketing. Every time I have started a business, I've always got the business growing from just email marketing. When I started my first video production company, I had not a penny to start it. I didn't go for no loan, nothing. Nothing. I just knew I wanted to start a video production company based in London. And I didn't have any money, nothing really. Not even nothing to go with it. And the way I got my first few clients was literally by me sitting down and drafting like really nice, beautifully drafted emails that I am talking from my own authentic self. It's not, I wasn't following like no gurus or whatever it is. I didn't even know about them there. I just had a passion to do something. So I drafted just really nice emails where I am talking. I knew what my, who would potentially buy from me. I knew there would be marketing managers and marketing heads, and there'd be people in the corporate sector that needed videos. So I sat down and I drafted really nice emails, and I would contact these organizations one by one, just like going, hi, I'm Flake, and this is what I'm trying to do, and I see that on your website is this and this and this, and literally I would contact them, and from those then I got the first client, and then the second client, etc., etc. And even just to scale up the business, to take the business from nothing to wanting to generate say 30K every month sales, is the same approach that I use. I literally just thought, okay, what sector do I want to go into? I thought about the book publishing sector, and I thought, who are the leaders in those sectors? And then I got the first 20 that I knew that I could pitch to. And then I just emailed the marketing managers one-to-one. And out of all those big 20, most of them came back, to me and became a client. So you can't do this. You can't do this just on a one-to-one approach. Okay? And email marketing is so powerful. And then obviously now comes social media. I mean, when I started my business the first time around, I wasn't really using social media. I was not in the social media scene, and social media, I'm talking about say 15 years ago, it wasn't what it is now. So I just got on with it. But now with social media, what you find is that you already have a pre-existing community that you can then market to. And then also, the other thing I should mention is, even though you have a huge market and there are lots of people on in your community, I would also say use the email marketing approach where you're contacting people one by one. Have a look, like now when I'm on Facebook, for example, I'm literally just looking at my timeline and looking at what people are doing and looking at what people are asking questions about. And if someone asks a question that I feel that, I can help this person with, I contact them directly and I go, you know what, I saw that comment about whatever, I can help you. So it's still a one-to-one approach. Until then, you grow the business and then you can scale up. And then the last thing is like networking. So because of social media and the internet, a lot of us have got really lazy these days. And I must confess, I am one of those, that we don't actually get out and about and meet people that much anymore. But if you're at this stage of building your business, of like testing your idea, or you're still in employment and you're trying to build a sideline, one of the best ways you can do this is actually networking, getting out there and speaking to people directly and seeing what it is that they want so that you can use that to craft how you're going to pitch your idea, or that you can actually start selling to people directly. Because when people meet you face to face and they get to know you, it's like, the sale is then very easy from then onwards. So in terms of you getting out and making this thing a reality, think about outbound marketing. Think about doing emails and doing a little bit of social media and networking. And then the other thing I was going to say with the social media is like you want to start positioning yourself, in that area of what you provide. But we're going to talk about that at another deep dive. Okay. So now let's talk about making a sale and making more sales. So I know this for sure. Yeah. One of the things that stops people from making a sale, and I speak from experience and past experience as well, is that I don't have a clear offer, or they don't have a clear offer. So you might have an idea of what you want to do. You might have an idea of, what you're very good at. You might have an idea of like the things that you're passionate about. And you might have an idea of how you can help people. But sometimes it's very hard for us to have an offer in place where when, we finish talking to somebody and go, oh my God, I'm a yoga teacher, or I'm a Pilates teacher, or I'm a tech contractor, or I'm a marketing consultant, or I am a coach, or whatever it is that you do. And you've spoken to this person and they've told you their life history. And then when it comes down to how you can help them, you don't have a clear offer of actually how they can work with you, how much you're going to charge, what the transformation process is, how it's going to take place. When you don't have a clear offer, it's very hard for you to pitch, and it's very hard for you to ask for the money. So this is the biggest thing I feel stops people from making money. They don't have a clear offer. So if I go back to that, the what's it called, the PowerPoint slide where I had about the mindset. In fact, after that, after you think about your mindset and you're dreaming about it, the other thing you should be dreaming about is exactly how you're working with your clients and the people that you want to work with. Are they coming to your home? Are you going to them? What are you charging for those for what it is that you have to offer, and how long are they going to work with you? And you write this down, and this is going to be what's going to be your offer, and this is what you're going to be talking to people about. So the first thing in order for you to make a sale is to be clear about your offer. Okay. And then the other thing I see people making a big mistake with is not having call to action when they're either like talking online, when they're talking on social media, when they're talking with their friends or when they're talking with potential clients. They don't have a call to action with, they don't have a clear call to action of like, after you had that conversation, what do you want that person to do? So these days, normally I only have one call to action. And like this, I mean, I've been doing this business for like 15 years. I've tried so many different things. But this moment, what I'm trying is just one call to action. And that's literally directing people to my calendar, to my diary. And that's because I know what I sell is high value. So people are not going to buy, just by me just giving a button. Like, people are not going to just buy that. They're going to want to talk to me about it, because it's not, it's not a low price, budget stuff. It's something that takes a little bit more for an investment. So I direct people to my diary to have a chat with me and talk about it, so that we can see whether it's a fit for them and for I. So, and I explore that in that call with them. And I also help them, in that call as well. So I always have a call to action, So that's what you need to start thinking about. What is your call to action? Do you want people to like talk to you on, after that, like via Skype? Or do you actually want them to buy then and there? If they're going to buy then and there, where are you taking them for them to see what it is that you have to offer, and how do they buy? So you need to think about where your call to action is. And as soon as you know where your call to action is, you would put this in every conversation you have, in everything you're talking about online. And it means that you're just directing your funnel to a certain place. And then having your strategy in place. So if you're going to sell, how are you going to sell? What is the easiest way to sell? Again, for this presentation and for this group that we're talking about, I am going to suggest that you think about one-to-one selling, and that you think about just working with people on a one-to-one basis first to start with, because at this stage we're testing a business idea, and also if you're not testing a business idea, you're in employment, you're working, you're doing something else, you want to see what this process is about first before you then scale up. And also, when you work with people one-to-one, you start to like learn about, how they phrase their challenges and what their issues are. And then you start to put that together. That's going to help you when you're ready to then scale, And also, at this stage, if you start working with one-to-one with somebody, so when I provide to mainly corporates at the moment, but I am working with a head of marketing for a corporation, a head of marketing for a tech company, or if I'm doing digital transformation stuff, I'm working with one organization, and it's still one, and I might have a few of them, I might have a few contracts going, and I might have a few clients, but these are high value clients, and they're one-to-one engagements and one-to-one services that I'm giving. And because of that, I can really give value, okay? So if you think about the one-to-one type of strategy, that, you're going to go to somebody and you go, this is what I do. I can help you over 6 months, or I can help you for whatever time scale it is. What you're effectively doing is that you are creating your own opportunities. And I have used this in every area of my life, like not every area of my life. Whenever it is that I am looking to build a business, when I'm using to get contracts. So in terms of like money making side of things, I have used this pitching stuff. So you're listening to what people are saying, and you are actually creating opportunities for yourself by going to them and saying, hey, you know what? I saw that you needed this. I can help you with this, and I can do it for this amount. Hey, I saw that, you're struggling with your social media. I can help you work on your social media strategy, over a certain amount of, a few months, and I can do this and this and this and this. And like, I'll just charge you this. So you're getting out there and you are creating opportunities for yourself, as opposed to like waiting for someone to post something, as opposed to you waiting for, someone to post about a job, as opposed to you waiting for something to happen. You're getting out there and you're creating your own opportunities. So you should be thinking about, pitching your ideas to people and to organizations. And then the other way that you can easily make a sale out of a crowded market is actually going for contracts as well. So, I'm a contractor, and I really believe that if we can, we should create multiple streams of income so that things balance out. So that if, my video production company is not bringing enough money in, I look at the contract out there, and I am going to take a contract as a limited company, okay? And I'm going to an organization that needs something. I'm going, well, I can do that for you as a contract for like 6 months or 12 months. And because you're doing that contract, it also means that you can use your team. You can use someone's help. You can get other people to help you in that contract. So the idea around all this strategy is that you want to create your own opportunities. You want to get out there. You want to choose the type of clients. And this, I'm telling you, this you can do for any kind of business. I have done one-to-one work with, say, even like a yoga teacher, where the strategy behind that is to actually then package what it is that they do in terms of the yoga classes to actually target, say, for example, the corporate sectors, like the financial industry in central London, and actually targeting those businesses and going, we will come to your office, and we will do like 2 classes every week. And all you have to do is provide like 15 to 30 of your employees, and it will help them with a work-life balance, And they've gone out and they've gone to pitch to these organizations, and they've gone to create, opportunities for themselves. So you can use it for whatever business idea you've got, for wherever, passion you've got. You can use the strategy of like pitching, getting contracts, packaging things like contracts, and going one-to-one to your decision makers. So, upscaling. After you've done all that stuff and you get your first client, and then you've got your second client and your third client, this is where it then gets very exciting. And this is when we start talking about upscaling. But I'm not going to go into that yet because we don't have time. But what I'm just going to mention about upscaling is that it involves systems and processes. Like, you need to have a good system in place that, systems that people know how to contact you, that you're collecting information, that you can monitor, the people that you're talking to, like how many people are you talking to about a contract, about a page, etc., and then you can monitor that system in place that you can scale to like get loads of clients at the same time, etc. But so this is going to be for another a deep dive, and I'm going to show you exactly the tools and the systems that I use and I am implementing for the clients that I work with for digital transformation stuff. So let's just to wrap this up, because I think I'm already 45 minutes. So to wrap this up, don't forget about your checklist. What I want you to do as you leave this call now is to use this energy from this call and whatever emotions that it has invoked in you, whatever ideas that it has brought, to you, to use that energy to just take a step back and do that visualization exercise that I mentioned at the beginning. Start with that, do that visualization, and really think about, what it is that you want to do, because life is too short, the more you leave it, it's like another year is going to go by, and another year, and then you're not going to like get this thing going. So what I'll say is like, start now. Go do this visualization exercise I talk about, and really like visualize what it is that you want to create and how you're creating it, how you're living, how you're feeling, etc., etc. And then think about what it is that you want to offer. Write it down. Like, it doesn't have to be long, it could even be like 4 paragraphs. Just write it down exactly, like, you know what, this is who I want to help. This is how I'm going to be helping them. This is how I'm going to work with them. And this is how much I am going to ask in return for that energy that I am giving to them. Just write it out, because there's so much power in just writing something down. I think that's one of the ways as well that we manifest stuff and we bring it to life. And then after you write it down, do these 4 little steps that I told you about. Think about your business setup. Have that mindset that you're a business. Like literally, I feel that it takes like this for things to change. Like, I'm not in business, I am in business. If you're a sole proprietor and you're self-employed, go. That's it. Create your shop front. And I said, keep it slim, keep it lean. Shop front, you only need a few pages. That is professional. If you're doing a website, 3 pages, 4 pages, whatever it is you can handle, just have a shop front. If you're doing a landing page, just 1 page. Just that it gives you confidence that actually I'm starting, and actually, you know what, I'm in it, I'm doing it, And then also it just gives that, people that are watching you and listening to you, it gives them that credibility as well that you can do it. Have your offer, like I said, have it written down, and then open your payment gateway. Because if you don't have that gateway, you cannot be expecting to make money when you don't even know how you're going to take money from people. Like, this is like a big mindset shift, So go and set up that payment gateway. And I gave you 2 good examples, whether, if you want to set up a bank account, the easiest way to do that, or if you want to use PayPal. Those are just 2 little ones that I could think of that I know are the simplest way for you to open your payment gateway. So those are your 4 little checklists that you need to do after this call. If you do, do them, and actually let me know how. Even if you're stuck on any of that, let me know. And I'm here to like help and offer advice on how you make it like quick and easy. So that is the end of today's deep dive. If you need more from me and on anything I've spoken about, like I say, just go. My diary is always open. Go to calendly.com/Folake, and you get like a free 30 minutes free consultation with me. And usually I use those consultation as I call them like a power session. And it's a process of helping you actually identify what are your next few steps that you can run with. So yeah, if you need that, absolutely go to calendly.com/Folake and book a free session with me, and we can have a chat. Apart from that, I would love for you to know how you found the session. If you have any questions, like put them in the chat box so that after the call, sometime today, I can ask any questions, anything that you find that wasn't clear. If there was any aha moments for you, if there was anything that really helped you on this call, put that in the comment box as well. Yeah, anything at all, just put them in. I would really love to hear your thoughts, and also your current challenges that you're having at the moment. What is stopping you? And so just share. It would be good to just like to see what your thoughts are after listening to this deep dive. So that's it for me today, and now I have to go and do my day job. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to like connecting with you guys more. So let me just show you my face, just so that you know that this is definitely like a live, because people always go, is this definitely live? Yeah, it is live. It's just that I've used a PowerPoint presentation all throughout it, and yeah, I find it's actually easier for me to use a PowerPoint presentation because I always have so much stuff to talk about that sometimes I leave a Facebook Live and I go, oh, like, I forgot to say that, or oh, I should have said that. So I'm trying to use more PowerPoint stuff so that I can keep focus and I can deliver more to you guys. So it's been nice having you. Leave your comments in the box and say hi so that I know that you've watched this. And if I can help, go to my calendar at calendly.com/Folake. All right. I shall see you guys soon.